Here.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
And here we go. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor, and it is a TGIF Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday, right? I'm always happy when Friday comes along. By the way, Friday's on my day off. And today I'm going to take the day off. I'm not going to work on anything except maybe a new book. But I'm going to just not work on any client issues today, because today really is my day off. And I always do this during the summer months, as Fridays are supposed to be a day off for me. Because once you go through tax season and then the aftermath of tax season and doing a whole bunch of other projects for clients, it's time to quit. It's time to just take a day off. And that's what I'm going to do. I am mystified by the word Bidenomics. I'm mystified at that. Biden thinks that is a good word. And as I look at it, I don't see anything about his economic plan that has helped any American. Hasn't helped me. I'm still paying high prices at the grocery store. The gas prices are jumping up and down. One day it's $3.12, and the next day it's $3.2, and then the next day it was $3.29, and then it jumped. Now it's down to $3.23. So I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on in the gasoline market, but listen, Biden destroyed that market. I mean, he literally drained the fuel out of the nation's reserves just for political reasons. I don't see anything good that ever has come out of any of the policies of Joe Biden. Everything has cost us more. Remember when they did that Inflation Reduction Act? When January came along, we all got hit with fuel taxes. Not gasoline fuel taxes, but taxes on oil that heat our homes. Natural gas that heats our homes. Nothing has ever gone down through what Biden has done. He touts all of these plans and all of these successes, but they're all lies. Because if you actually look at the data, it's not even close to being truth. We have a problem with a president. One, he's been in politics all of his life. He has never ever formed a company and created a company that was legal, that ever hired anybody, that ever paid payroll taxes, that ever made anything, that ever produced anything, or offered a service. All of his corporations were to funnel money from other countries into his pockets. That's his Bidenomics. As it relates to inflation, he hasn't done anything. We still have an inflation problem. In fact, the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell came out yesterday and said they've got to raise interest rates even more because inflation still is not under control. So whatever you're listening from Biden on his inflation and how he's lowering inflation, no, the Federal Reserve doesn't abide by that. They say that it's still high and they've got to raise more interest rates. So Bidenomics don't believe in this stuff. I mean, this is just campaign fluff. And they know it's lies. And a lot of the stuff that he's saying, the White House is having to back off on because it's not quite true. As an example, the chip industry. He said that people working, because he had that bill for the chip industry, right? His promise was that people working in the chip industry would be making $100,000 plus. $100,000 plus in a chip factory. Well, the White House has said, no, that's not quite true. Maybe some might make that. But there's no guarantee that everyone that's making chips, that's sitting there on the manufacturing floor, are going to be making $100,000. It's just, otherwise the chips in our computers would cost us a fortune. And that's not how businesses run. You see, Biden does not understand business. And since he doesn't understand the mechanisms and the processes of business, he just makes numbers up. So Bidenomics is nothing but a campaign thing. So remember, during this campaign for 2024, there's going to be a lot of words said. And not I would probably say not a single thing is true. I have lost my faith in the process of finding a good president, because they're able to go out there and they're able to say anything they want, and the media is just sitting there, oh yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, look how wonderful Biden is. He's actually paying chip makers $100,000. Even a chip maker from Taiwan who's building a plant in Arizona said it's undoable. It's not going to happen. So we have an issue where President Biden has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to business. And quite frankly, the individuals who are advising him in the White House on the economy just don't know what they're doing. They have been in the scholastic part of life in universities and colleges, but they've never ever gone out and done anything. And that's the problem. When you have people with that type of background trying to run an economy, that's not going to work, because they don't have any experience in what America needs to run a good economy, good solid economy. And that's why it's failed so badly, because he has really bad advisors. By the way, that leads me to my next point. During the 2020 election, so many Republicans went over and supported Joe Biden. Well, now they're upset because they feel as though that Biden, in fact, there is an article out in the Washington Examiner this morning, and the title is, "The Republicans who endorsed Biden in 2020 were suckers." And we all knew that. We all knew that Biden was going to use these guys. So now they're complaining because after they sent over their vote for Biden in 2020, Biden has never talked to him, never picked up a phone and said, "Hey, thanks for your vote, thanks for your support. I don't need you anymore." He's never called them, never said thank you to them. So now the Republicans are upset. Now, if you remember who did that, Chris Christie did that. He supported Biden in the 2020 election, and now he's running for president, and he thinks everybody should forgive him for supporting Biden. Biden's policies have been such disasters, and for Republicans to support that type of a disaster should not even be considered in running for president. Chris Christie's gone. He's done. Who in the world will support that guy? All he does is sit up there and point fingers and complain and call people names. And he thinks it's cool. But it doesn't get anywhere because people see his game. And that's all he has at the moment is a game, and it's a losing game. And Biden's game is a losing game. So we need to think just a little bit more. When you see Chris Christie on the television, remember back when he supported Joe Biden. Just remember that. Just remember what his thought process was and where we are at today. His support for Joe Biden and some of these Republicans, if you go back and look at all of the Republicans that supported Biden during the 2020, and just remember, they voted for that. They supported and they endorsed failure for the American people. So I have no sympathy for them now that they're complaining that they've never been asked for advice. They've never said, no one has ever said thank you to them. Tough luck. That's what you get when you vote for failure. That's what you get. It's a very bad situation. All of us feel it because we have to deal with it every single day. That's just part of our life now that inflation has taken over. And it's going to last for a while because we don't have anybody in the White House that understands inflation or knows how to fight it. And listen, the Federal Reserve has done what the only thing that they knew to do was to raise interest rates so that spending would go down in the American public. Because a lot of us, well, a lot of you, I haven't spent anything, but a lot of you overspent. You got all those stimulus checks, and what'd you do? You went out and spent it. And now you're having to suffer for it. We are a great country, I tell you. I love this country. And we can do so much. By the way, yesterday, the Supreme Court ended affirmative action. Now, affirmative action has been a debate that's been going on ever since it was enacted. Because it never really treated the United States population equally. But what it did is take a few groups and supported them into getting into colleges. Now, this doesn't mean that affirmative action has stopped, or the reversal of affirmative action has stopped blacks and Mexicans going to college like Gavin Newsom is claiming. No, they have equal chance with everybody else. It's all about your academics. It's all about your grades. It's all about your personality. It's all about what you have done in your life. That's what is going to get you into these colleges. Now, those colleges out there, like Harvard, are saying, well, we're not going to comply with this ruling. And that's the problem when you have universities like that pushing racism through affirmative action, because that's basically what it is. Then we will always continue to have individuals that were given an extra chance over everybody else. And there have been other federal cases that have come before the courts, and they have also said that you've got to treat everybody equally. That's all we ask in this nation, is for all of us to be treated equally. It's a controversial conversation. And there's going to be a lot more. So get ready for it. Listen, this is Mike Lodge. And if you would like to have some time to sit down to talk confidentially about business issues, you can make an appointment on my website at www.lodge.co.com. And if you have a business question, send it in to me. I love business questions. Send it to thebusinessadvisor at gmail.com. Everybody, enjoy your Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Thank you for the way that you forgive me every day. Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Great is your mercy. Thank you for your grace. How could I breathe without it? Could I move